What happens when you find yourself in the middle of paradise and you are still sad? You still are longing for the things that you hope for. You still don't see the fruits of your hard work paying off in the way that you envision. What happens then? How do you keep the momentum going to get you to the next point in your journey? When you look back, you recognize that you've come a really long way. And then when you pay attention to where you are now, you recognize that it still doesn't look like what you envision for yourself. The spouse that you envision, the career trajectory that you envision, the home, the children, the this, the that, you fill in your own blank. What happens? How do you continue to inspire others when you struggle to inspire yourself from time to time? What happens in that gray area that we all go through? Many of us are afraid to admit it. Hell, I am sometimes ashamed to admit it, but the truth is that the gray areas, those moments where I feel lost and confused and unsettled, unfulfilled in particular areas, it's those moments that I find my biggest piece of inspiration. And I find the inspiration because I know that I have to keep going. I know that there is no other option for me because I know what being blessed looks like. I know what the revelation of my hard work looks like. I know that there's so much more for me to still do, and I see it unfolding. So I have to figure out my how. And in those tough moments is when you get to learn lessons that move you forward into your how. I make a lot of inspiring videos, sharing the lessons that I've learned, sharing the things that I've helped clients work through. I don't talk too much about the struggle periods that I still go through. As a transformational life coach, the struggle periods that I still go through, the long desires that I've held for since childhood that I still don't see manifested in my life yet. Um, and then reaching certain points where I'm like, okay, what next? What now? So I figured since I'm in one of those periods right now, right? I am in paradise. I am on vacation. Um, Being able to take myself on vacation, that in and of itself is a blessing. Being able to go to on vacation at the time that I went, that is in and of itself a blessing. At the beginning of this year, I had a huge number of milestones, um, but I wasn't able to celebrate it. So this vacation is my celebratory moment for so much. I am 2 weeks out of an 8-week recovery period, after a major surgery, and I'm here chilling. And then there's a part of me that today hit sadness. I was happy. I felt great. And then I felt lonely. Loneliness hit. And I didn't know what to do because this is the last day of my vacation. I was like, I don't want this crappy feeling that comes over me. And I don't know about you guys, but when loneliness hits me, it just gets me in this funk, and I just want to get in bed and watch TV or shut out the lights and instantly fall asleep. But that doesn't happen because my thoughts take over and it starts telling me all the things that I've hoped for as a child and showing me how it hasn't happened yet. And then goes the battle in my mind where I have to try to pray, and I'm like, God, all right, I need you to fight these thoughts for me. But this time I decided to do something different. This time I decided to make a video. I decided to make a video, and this for me is probably one of the boldest things that I've done, because as a transformational life coach, this is extra vulnerable. And I felt like I cannot continue to talk about transparency and vulnerability without showing you guys the other side of the lesson. This is me showing you what's happening in real time as I'm going through a lesson. I am away, alone, and I had a great time. I'm a very social person. But on the last day, I felt extra lonely. It's like this wave hit me, and I'm reminded that I don't have my husband yet. I haven't met him, and I'm reminded of how my standards have me holding out. And I'm just like, standards, how long are you going to keep me hidden? And then I start to wonder, this is all real. I start to wonder, is it my standards or is there something wrong with me? No bullshit. Like, really thought that. Is there something wrong with me? Now, with all the growth that I've done, with all of the things that have happened to me in life, like all the things that I have grown through, I know better. I know better than to have these thoughts. But just because you know better does not mean they're not going to come. It's an active choice. Every time you find yourself in this low period, it's an active choice to say, I'm not staying here. So this video is my active choice in real time for you guys to see, of me saying, I'm not staying here. I know what I don't have in my life right now. And I also know that this morning, when the sadness first hit, I went into prayer. And the thing that came to my mind in that moment was that I am, for one of the first consistent periods in my life, it's been several months of me doing this, I am consistently acting in my worth. So I'm not lonely. I recognize my value, and in my spirit, my internal system won't allow me to be comfortable with anything outside of it, no matter what my desires may say. Because let me tell you something, I see some people and I'm talking to some dudes and I'm just like, ooh, baby, yes. And then I remind myself of the conversations that I have, and I'm like, they look good, but they don't spark anything. I don't feel inspired to want to do and be and grow and share with this person. They're just really, really handsome or funny, or they check 2 boxes, but 7 are still left, you know? And I was reminded this morning of how consistent I've been in that. And that gave me a little boost. And then the next thing that came was I started thinking the negative thoughts of, yeah, but how do you know that's your worth? And how do you know that it's not something wrong with you? And I laid down. I came back to my hotel room and I laid down. And less than 10 seconds later, I got up and I said, I'm going to make this video. Because I need to say out loud for myself, and I need to share with others who may be going through similar struggles, that the dark periods are going to come, and it is our full choice of how long they stay. And while we're in the dark periods, don't forget who you are. Don't forget all the lessons that you have learned. Let me tell you something. I settled so much. I took whoever wanted me because I felt so unworthy and so unseen that I was desperate. I just wanted to be seen. And then I reached a point where, like, I was dating guys that I didn't particularly find attractive. I was dating guys that just showed an interest in me. And then as time moved on, then I started to date guys who I'm like, oh, well, he's attractive and he likes me. That must mean I'm attractive, because if y'all follow my stories, y'all know that for 36 years of my life, I thought I was ugly as and I thought I was ugly and I struggled with my looks, and that was a reflection of my low self-worth. And so when I found a handsome guy that liked me, I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm gonna like you too. And I found myself wanting to stay in a period with them way longer than what I was deserving of. And as you grow, the lessons are like steps, right? You don't just skyrocket and everything is perfect. No, you start to learn your patterns and undo them. You learn your patterns and undo them. And I talk about this being like a template. It's like, what template have you been following? And where has that template been leading you? And if it hasn't been leading you to someplace that's serving your your desired outcome for your highest good, like the thing that makes you the most happy in life, not a person, the internal things that make you the most happiest. For me, it's seeing myself as beautiful and feeling beautiful, not because someone else has said it, but because I feel it. It's a radiation from the inside out. Like I radiate, rather, excuse me, from the inside out. And so I know what that feels like because I've experienced it now. And so I look for the template to help me follow that. And when I'm in these negative pieces or spaces where I start to think of myself as unworthy or not beautiful or never going to get what I desire, I recognize that I'm in my old template again. And so I can pull myself out a lot faster than I used to. But guys, let me encourage you to say, check your thoughts. Do not let them run away with you because, honey, they will run far. And those negative thoughts can take you straight into the grave, or the positive thoughts can take you straight into your destiny. You have the right to choose. Not only do you have the right to choose, it is only up to you to choose. And as I'm speaking to you guys, on the one hand, I feel like I just blabbed for 12 plus minutes. And on the other hand, I feel so free of that moment that caused me to get into bed. I feel free and I feel like I actively get to choose how I spend my last day on vacation. And yes, I don't have anybody that I'm going back home to, and no, there isn't somebody here with me, but my self-worth is here. And I get to smile and socialize just like I did all the other days because I know who I am. So I'm closing out this video just letting you guys know that even the best of us struggle. And I'm sure you know it because you've heard so many say it, but this was me being transparent with what my struggle looks like. And yes, I still inspire others. And I feel like the reason why I can help so much is because I do the hard, ugly work of growing. And so this was my I don't know, this was me showing you guys a little bit of what that work looks like. And also simultaneously helping myself. So if you've watched it all the way to this point, thank you guys so much. Let me know how this resonated with you in the comments, because if you watch this long, something took, baby. And as I'm making this video, today is April 5th, 2022. And on Saturday, April 10th, I have a workshop entitled Templates of Life from Pain to Healing. And that is where I help you learn your own patterns, your own templates that I just talked about, and work on creating your own new narrative. I love doing that workshop because it just continues to reaffirm for me how to keep this going and how far I've come in my own journey. So after making this video, I'm kind of excited to be doing this workshop on Saturday as a reminder to myself. And so I hope you guys join me. And for those that that would like to figure out how else to keep up with me and got distracted because of the lawnmower going on outside, sorry, that would like to figure out how to join me and follow along on some of my other work, then there is a link where I shared this video. And so check out the link tree and explore. I'm going to sign off before it gets too loud now. Thank y'all so much for watching. Never stop growing.